Hi, okay, so this record's on it's on some medicine right here. This will go in my general health folder here. And I did some reading today about the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary systems, right? The human cardiovascular system and the human pulmonary system. Let's see, can you read that? Yeah, you can read that just fine. So, we'll start from the top and we'll go down. Okay, we'll start from the top and go down. So we use mental psychology to control the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary system. I use my mental psychology to actually control my own cardiovascular system and my own pulmonary system. Right? So I use my mind, my mental psychologies to control my heart, my lungs, my cardiovascular system, and my pulmonary system. Okay, I use my mind to do that. Okay, now. The cardiovascular system, I learned it today about cardiac output, which is the amount of energy or force that the heart exerts onto the body, to the rest of the body, to the muscles, right? Cardiac output. And primarily the heart and the arteries, their primary goal is really to deliver blood and oxygen to the muscles, to the tissues, to the organs, right? Not just blood and oxygen, but also nutrients. Here we have, the heart and the arteries directly supply oxygen to the muscles, directly supplies oxygen to muscles. Okay? Now this one is definitely related to the pulmonary system because from the pulmonary system, the blood gets the oxygen, right? Without the pulmonary system, there would be no way for oxygen to get into the blood. But once there is oxygen in the blood from our friend here, the pulmonary system, then that oxygen is dispersed, pumped into the muscles, via the medium of blood through the force of the heart and the arteries and the cardiovascular system. Okay, now the heart working in overdrive. The heart working in overdrive is a product of an extreme cardiac output. When cardiac output is too extreme, too high, too gross, then that turns into the heart working in overdrive, and the heart begins to pound like that. You see, and I'll go over to the pulmonary system and explain this before we get down here to this word, this key medical terminology here, which helps us explain the heart working in overdrive. So there's breathing, right? With the pulmonary system, there's breathing efficiency, and there's oxygen utilization efficiency. Okay. Now, when we get down here, this dyspnea right there, which is a medical terminology that means getting winded, right? To get out of breath or to get winded. Okay, you see that right there. And this dyspnea, or getting winded, is the result of a lack of oxygen utilization efficiency, right? It's really a lack of oxygen utilization efficiency. The muscles, the cells, the body is not utilizing oxygen efficiently enough. And as a result, the cardiac output increases and the breathing becomes labored, more heavy, more quick. And that is dyspnea, getting winded. Okay? And the heart has to work in overdrive to overcome this, deficiency in oxygen utilization that's a part of this dyspnea. Okay? So, training really, or regular exercise, is the best way to overcome this dyspnea. Regular exercise, whether that's walking, standing upright for long periods of time, going for bike rides, hiking, going on a treadmill, lifting weights, doing chin-ups, etc., etc., etc. But the more you train your heart and your breathing to efficiently and effectively utilize oxygen, the less that you'll get winded. Also, the more that you train your heart to pump blood efficiently and effectively, also the less that you'll ever experience the effects of dyspnea, okay, of getting winded. So it's important to train and to stay in some form of training so as to reduce the effects, the harmful effects of this dyspnea, and so as to increase your ability, your able-bodiedness, and your good health as a human being. it's important to stay in some form of training, regular training, so as to be very, very, very healthy, both in cardio health, and in pulmonary health. So, breathing efficiency and oxygen utilization efficiency is very important. It's very, 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 very important things. Also, to be conscious of the cardiac output. How much force is your heart exerting on the rest of your body? So, these things are very important, and these things are definitely related. They're definitely connected. So they're sort of. I'll use green. Green is sort of a color of life. They're definitely connected right here. You can see this right here. There's a strong link. It's a strong link. You can't. This cardiovascular system does not work without the pulmonary system, and the pulmonary system does not work without the cardiovascular system. They're both necessary. They're a vice versa system. They're definitely a true vice versa system. So we've got our green life link connection, this life bond between the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary system. That's important to understand. So, and of course, up at the top here, we've got our mind, and we use our mental psychology to control these things. And also what's important to understand is that if this is gone, if the mental psychology is gone, you can still live. You can still have these that function. Look at Terry Schiavo, I think her name is. In a vegetative state for many years, her cardiovascular system and her pulmonary system was working, but her mental psychology was not. She was still alive. She still had that life. Okay, so you needn't have that to have this, but if you have that, take advantage of it to control this. So it's important to understand. So, continue to train, continue to work with the cardiovascular system and the pulmonary system so as to maximize the efficiency and the effectiveness of cardiac output, and the efficiency and the effectiveness of pumping blood and oxygen around to the muscles and tissues of the body, and to maximize the efficiency and the effectiveness of directly supplying oxygen to the muscles, and to maximize the efficiency and effectiveness of breathing and oxygen utilization by the tissues of the body, by the muscles, chiefly and primarily. Also of the brain. Of course, we always need to have oxygen pumped into the brain so as to oxygenate our brain cells so we can think clearly and correctly and maximize our mental psychological control. So oxygen is very important. So this has been my record for today on cardio pulmonary, and I'll put this in the general health record. I could specify this in many different folders, but I'll just put this as a general record because it's neither specifically cardiovascular nor specifically pulmonary, but of course a beautiful combination of the two. So thank you.